find dicot plants in gardens. Where might you find plants?
In our house, in a forest, in a bush.
In the bush, very good. Where else? Where do you go every day on Monday to Friday?
To school.
Good. Okay, so I'll go through the Walt and the Wilf. Today we are learning how to tell whether a garden plant is a monocot or a dicot. So what I'll be looking for is for you to be able to identify characteristics of a monocot and dicot and draw a monocot and a dicot. So a monocot, what are some characteristics a monocot plant has?
3 petals, a leaf that twirls around the stem, and veins that are straight, and roots, many roots that are black.
Very good. Okay, so you're right. It has 3 petals. It has parallel veins, so the straight veins. It has a sheathing leaf, so leaves that twirl around the stem, and fibrous roots that are thin and branch off of our stem. Okay, next one is our dicot plant. What are some characteristics of our dicot plant?
5 or more petals, branch, veins that are straight, and then there's lots of other veins coming out of it, and then it has roots that there's a main root that there's lots of it coming out.
Very good. So you're right, it has 5 or more petals. So this one has 5, but our plant can have 5 or more. It has branched veins in our leaves, and it has a taproot, so our primary root that grows, and then vertically other roots come off of it. Okay? So it grows vertically and the other roots come off. Okay, monocot and dicot cotyledons. So the cotyledon is a significant part of the embryo. So what does significant mean?
Special.
Special or important. Very good. So a monocot has 1 cotyledon and a dicot has 2 cotyledons. What do you think mono means?
1 and dicot means 2.
Very good. Okay, so upon germination, that is when the plant grows. It will either grow with 1 cotyledon or 2 cotyledons. So if it grows with the 1, it would be our monocot, and if it grows with 2, it'll be our dicot. Okay, so now we're going to look at the leaf veination. So just like before, we were looking at the veins in our leaves, okay? So the arrangement of the veins. Our monocot's veins are usually parallel, so that's when they're straight. And our dicot veins are usually branching off the middle vein, so they're net-like, okay? So, what one's this one?
A monocot and a dicot.
Very good. Okay, so without looking up on the board, because this is our next activity, draw me a monocot leaf as quick as you can. Very good. And now a dicot leaf. Very good, perfect. Okay, so looking up here, this is our stem. So the stems are arranged complexly in our monocot. So the stem is arranged pretty much with it being bigger rings to smaller rings, as you can see here. Okay, and our dicot stems are arranged in a ring on the outside. So a really tidy ring, as you can see, and it's very well organized. So on your board, can you please draw me a monocot stem? Very good. I can see that you've got the outside ring and then you're doing the rings on the inside. Next one is a dicot stem. So it's arranged in a ring and it's usually it looks very tidy. Next one. Okay, so what am I? I have 5 petals. My veins look like this. So verbally you can just tell me what it is.
A dicot.
Very good. Why do you think it's a dicot?
Because it has a straight line and then there's lots coming out.
Very good. Okay, so what am I? I have 3 petals and my veins look like this.
A monocot.
And why?
Because it has all straight lines.
Yes, the parallel veins. Good job. Okay, so what am I?
You are a monocot because you have 3 petals and you have lots of lines.
In the leaves in the background?
Yep.
Very good, the parallel lines. And what am I?
A dicot because you have 5 or more petals.
Very good, I have 5 or more petals. Okay, so now my job for you to do is, I've got a monocot plant form and a piece of paper, and I've got a dicot plant. Okay, so you're going to draw me a monocot plant and label it. And you're going to draw me a dicot plant and you're going to label it. Okay, so your name needs to be on both sheets. Okay, but before I get you started, from watching our PowerPoint from the lesson today, I want you to reflect how you think you went. Okay, so I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you 3 questions and you're going to put your hand up for one of those questions. If you think that you'd be able to go out to the garden now and tell me what a monocot plant is and a dicot plant is, not yet, don't tell me yet. If you don't think you'd be able to do it, I'm going to get you to put your hand up. If you might be able to do it, and if you will definitely be able to do it, okay? So if you don't think you'd be able to do it, put your hand up. If you might be able to do it, put your hand up. And if you definitely think you'd be able to do it, put your hand up. Very good. Okay, so get started.